What if a filmmaker tells you, well, we just want to launch this campaign and make a movie. We're not looking to like spend 6 months trying to build.
You're going to fail. I mean, you're going to fail. Unless you have, the only way that works really, and is if, again, I talked about earlier about building up social currency. Well, it's the same thing of building up currency as a creative. There's a reason that the Veronica Mars movie or Zach Braff, they can go out and put something up and get funded right away. Well, because they have this currency with the, with the world, I guess you could say, the online world, or the people. They have fans. They've built up this base, right? Some filmmakers, I know some filmmakers who have made some shorts who really, really cultivated relationships the whole way through and crowdsourced the whole way through and then hit their goals. And then when they come back to do the second movie, it's a little easier, okay? And when they go to do the third movie, it's a little easier because they keep these people and they keep everybody involved, that entire crowd. But I've also seen, and this is actually going to make it into the book, where same exact example where you have a first-time director who really worked social media, raised, I think it was $10,000 for a short. Everybody got a copy who donated, everybody loved the guy. He went to do the second one, he did the same thing again, great. He went to do the third one, did even better. He won some festivals and everything, and all of a sudden he got a big head. And he said, well, I could just throw it up now. It was a year between, now he's going to do his first feature, and he needed a little bit more money, and he said, I'm going to go right back to the crowd. Of course they're going to support it. But he threw it up. He didn't engage. He didn't, all of a sudden he became, oh, I'm here, like his tweets became, I'm here and I'm there and I'm off doing this, and, it became like, like a Gump kind of thing, like he's, hobnobbing here and hobnobbing there, and nobody cared. Nobody cared anymore. It became, now you want, because every ask got bigger, like the raise got bigger, and he ended up not making it, and now he's struggling to get money for his next short. You can't, I just can't stress it enough that, it really, especially when it comes to crowdfunding, it all comes down to relationships, and it all comes down to building those relationships and keeping those relationships. Even, a mile and a half to this day, okay, the film premiered 2 years ago, to this day, they are still engaging their audience. They are still putting videos out and just updates and saying, hey guys, we're hiking this weekend. Like, what are you guys up to? Like that kind of thing. It's, there's something to that. Again, you feel ownership, you feel connection. And that's really what it's all about. It's crowdfunding. It's crowdsourcing. It's moving a crowd. It's not moving an individual. It's not yelling at an individual. It's not making demands of an individual. It's identifying, engaging, and moving a crowd.
So with the other filmmaker who was not successful, was it the third or fourth time out?
Fourth time. This time with a feature, yep.
Was it more of an expectation and I don't have to do the dirty work? Or it
was ego and hubris. It was this idea that, they supported me the whole way through, and he forgot how hard it was to get to where he got to as far as getting that crowd to follow him. And now he had kind of turned his back on the crowd because he was saying he wasn't releasing a video every other day or going to his followers and saying, how you doing, or this is what the movie's about. Here's a clip from, here's a scene. Like some people will take 2 pages of the script and say, here's a little teaser of what we're looking to do. What do you think of this? And people are like, oh, it's really, really cool. Or maybe you should change that character's name to this or whatever. But you're engaged. You're involved. He wasn't doing any of that. Instead, he was saying, well, now I'm in Paris and I'm talking to this guy, and and people were like, well, yeah, but we're still here. Mm-hmm. Don't go all the way up here and not, you're not giving us anything. You're not engaging us anymore. You're not keeping us involved anymore. And if you're going to crowdfund, I don't care what you're doing. If you're going to crowdfund, and I don't care what kind of success you've had, you do have to have that element still. You have to keep people engaged. You have to make people feel like they're a part of it.
Don't you think people want to see that quote-unquote Instagram life a little bit, though? So they can kind of vicariously live through that?
But not if that's the only thing you're doing. This became, it's a case study on how not to do things. It became, instead of, it wasn't just the Instagram life, and it wasn't just like, hey, I'm here, like I said, like Gump or Zelig or whatever. It was selfie here, selfie there, you know what I mean? Living, hashtag living large, you know what I mean? It's okay. That kind of thing. Yeah. And people are going to tune you out. You're done. There's the next thing, and there's the next thing, and there's the next project. I could throw my weight around the next one. I could
right.
I could donate to the next thing.
Right. So he wasn't appreciative anymore, and he may be almost rubbing it in people's faces a little bit.
Yeah, but the biggest thing, even if it wasn't so much, maybe he was appreciative. Maybe he still had, but he wasn't engaging.
Gotcha.
He wasn't connecting. You know, everything is about connecting. You want to feel connected. I mean, it's the same thing about being, it's the same thing being a fan of somebody, really, if you think about it. I mean, if you know, people are fans of celebrities because they feel that they either, you know, there's either a respect thing or there's some sort of connection. They feel like they mirror their values, or, you know, oh, he's a great guy, and you sit there and go, how the hell do you know he's a great guy? You saw him in a movie, but you know, but he's a cute guy. He's cute, but there's a connection in their mind. There's a connection, and when you sever that connection, you know, you lose people. It's why some movie stars, you know, are here for the longest time and then they fall down. It's not always just age. It's just, or, you know, sometimes it's just a disconnect. You know what I mean? And it's certainly that way when it comes to crowdfunding and crowdsourcing. It's and social media. I mean, again, it's the same thing. You know, the people that organically get a lot of likes are the people that, if they're not celebrities, the people that, you know, the people that get a lot of likes, a lot of followers, are the people that engage. They're the people that, you know, aren't just out there, like I said, broadcasting. They're out there posting great content and talking about it and asking questions about it, or taking somebody else's content and saying, well, you know, what compelled you to write that? What compelled you to do that? That's really interesting to me. Thank you for posting that. It makes a difference. You know what I mean? It really, really does. It's certainly no different when it comes to crowdsourcing and crowdfunding.